Welcome to Biology Online class from the Global Studies. Now we will discuss about that mechanism of respiration. Last class also we have discussed about that mechanism of respiration. It has the two stages. One is the inspiration and another one is the expiration. Yes. During the inspiration, the air is taking out. The air is taking into the lungs from the surroundings. During the expiration, the air is leaving out from the respiratory organs to surroundings. So, to take the air into the lungs from the surroundings or leaving out air from lungs to surroundings, there is a need to increase the volume of the chest cavity and decrease the volume of the chest cavity. Suppose you can place your palm over on your chest yourself, then you will inhale the air. Then what you will observe that when you can inhale, your hands are, your palm is pushes forward, and during the exhalation, and your hand is moves backward. In this way, during the respiration, the volume of the chest cavity is altered, increases and decreases. In the inspiration, it increases. During the expiration, it is decreases. Yes, last class also we have discussed about this two stages in the respiration, inspiration and expiration. To altering this volume of this chest cavity, and two structures are plays the important role. They are rib cage, yes, rib cage and diaphragm. This rib cage is made up of ribs and rib cage is made up of ribs and intercostal muscles, and diaphragm is rib cage and diaphragm. Both are plays the important role to increase the volume of the chest cavity or decrease the volume of the chest cavity. Look here. Yes. Our chest cavities look like this. This is the trachea dividing into two branches called bronchi. Each bronchus is open into the lungs. Yes, right lung, left lung. Yes. So, it is protected all sides by this rib cage. These are the ribs. Rib cage. Yes. Yes, ribs. And a diaphragm. Yes. In this way, trachea divided into two branches, bronchus. Each bronchus dividing a small branches called bronchioles. Bronchioles are dividing as a, are extending as a bronchioles. Yes. Look here. This is the right lung and left lung. Right lung and left lung. Yes. During the inspiration, what I told you, volume of the chest cavity is increases. How the volume of the chest cavity is increases? Look here. In the normal condition, diaphragm, ribs, and lungs. Yes. At the beginning of the inspiration, diaphragm is contracted like this. Diaphragm is contracted, which is in the shape of like this. Diaphragm is contracted. How diaphragm is contracted? The intercostal muscles are pulled down. At the same time, ribs also pushes forward. Yes, they are present like this, but they are pushes forward. Ribs are pushes forward. That's why volume of this chest cavity is increases. Volume of the chest cavity is increases. How the volume of the chest cavity is increases during the inspiration? Yes. The diaphragm becomes flat. How diaphragm becomes flat? Diaphragm is contracted. When the diaphragm is contracted, it becomes flat. At the same time, Ribs are pushes the forward. Ribs are like this. Look here. Ribs are like this. Ribs are pushes forward. Yes. So look here. These two fingers are the ribs. This one is the diaphragm. Yes. Index finger of me is the right diaphragm. It is like this in the inspiration. At the beginning of the inspiration. Look here. At the beginning of the inspiration, these are the ribs. This one is the diaphragm. Diaphragm is highest dome. At the beginning of the inspiration, diaphragm becomes flat. At the same time, ribs also pushes forward. That's why volume of the chest cavity is increases. When the volume of the chest cavity is increases, what will happen? Volume of lungs also increases. Then pressure inside the lungs is decreases than the surrounding air. That's why the air is rises into the lungs. In which part? From surroundings to external nostrils. External nostrils to nasal cavities. Nasal cavities to internal nostrils. Internal nostrils to pharynx. Pharynx to larynx. Larynx to trachea. Trachea to bronchus. Bronchus to bronchiole. Bronchiole to alveolus. In this way, air is reaches into the alveolus. In which both from surroundings to external nostrils. External nostrils to nasal cavity. Nasal cavity to internal nostrils. Internal nostrils to pharynx. Pharynx to larynx. Larynx to trachea. Trachea to bronchus. Bronchus to bronchiole. Bronchiole to alveolus. In the alveolus, gases exchange takes place. Yes. After the gases exchange, then what will happen? Expiration is occurs. Yes, what process is going on during the expiration or exhalation? During the expiration or exhalation, the air is rises out from the lungs to surroundings. How this occurs? The volume of the chest cavity and the volume of the lungs also decreases. How the volume of the chest cavity and the volume of the lungs is decreases? Look here. This diaphragm again relaxes. Diaphragm is relaxes. Suppose, I think you might have observed at your houses also, if we have the plastic buckets, they have the metal handle that is look like in the shape of U, highest dome. If you are forcibly, handle becomes flat. Then when you can use that again, the handle getting the contraction, getting the original position. In the same way, diaphragm also. When this muscles are relaxes, then what will happen? Diaphragm becomes highest dome, highest dome. At the same time, again ribs are pushes the backward like this. Ribs during the inspiration in the stage, diaphragm is relaxes. Again ribs are moves backward. That's why volume of the chest cavity is decreases. How the volume of the chest cavity is decreases? Diaphragm is relaxes. And ribs are moves backward. Then the volume of the chest cavity is decreases. At the same time, volume of lungs also decreases. When the volume is decreases, the pressure inside the lungs is increases. Then the surrounding air. That's why the air present in the lungs is rises out. In which both from the alveolus to bronchiole, bronchiole to bronchus, bronchus to trachea, trachea to larynx, larynx to pharynx, pharynx to internal nostrils, then nasal cavity, nasal cavity to external nostrils, again surroundings. In which path the air is entering to the lungs? In the same path the air is leaving out from the lungs to surroundings. In this way, respiration occurs. In the respiratory movement, two structures are plays the important role. One is the rib cage and the second one is the diaphragm. Rib cage again made up of two components. One is the ribs, second one is the intercostal muscles. And two types of the intercostal muscles are there. External intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles. Simply intercostal muscles. Diaphragm, yes, ribs and intercostal muscles. They are the components of rib cage. Rib cage is made up of ribs, means ribs, rib bones, and intercostal muscles. Yes. So this diaphragm and rib cage plays the important role in the respiratory movements, in which also in male human being diaphragm plays the major role in the respiratory movement. Diaphragm plays the major role in the respiratory movement. In the female human being, ribs are plays the major role in the respiratory movement. In male, ribs also plays the role only in the respiration or respiratory movement. But diaphragm plays the major role, and this ribs are plays the secondary role in the respiratory movement. Among the women, means in the female human being, ribs are plays the major role and diaphragm plays the second role. That's why simply we can say that among the men, diaphragm plays the major role in the respiratory movement. Among the female human being, ribs are plays the major role. Yes. So the air which is inhaled into the lungs. Yes. The air that is inhaled into the lungs. Generally, air that is inhaled into the lungs, what are the components are there? Inhaled air. Yes, inhaled air. Inhaled air. It contains the nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, carbon dioxide 0.03%. In the exhaled air, this exhaled air contains nitrogen 78%, oxygen 15%, carbon dioxide 4.4%. That's why we can say that the inhaled air is rich in oxygen. The exhaled air is rich in the carbon dioxide. But the nitrogen is present 78%, but it is not taking for the consideration because there is no change in the proportion of nitrogen gases constant, which is inhaled air and exhaled air. No change in their proportion. Changes occurs only in the oxygen and carbon dioxide. In the inhaled air, oxygen is present at 21%. Exhaled air contain only 15% of oxygen. But carbon dioxide, inhaled air contain 0.03%. Exhaled air contain 4.4%. By this we can say that inhaled air is rich in the oxygen. Exhaled air is rich in the carbon dioxide. Yes. Now we will discuss gases exchange. How the gases exchange occurs in the human respiratory system. Already I told you, bronchiole is extending as a alveolus. Bronchiole is extending as a alveolus. Look here. This alveolus is made up of a single row of the cells. Each, each blood capillary, it is also made up of a single row of the cells. Look here. This is a blood capillary. Yes, this one is the alveolus. Yes, look here, this is the bronchiole. Whenever air is entering into the alveolus, oxygen present in the alveolus is diffuses into the blood present in the blood capillary. Generally, the blood present in the blood capillary contain large amount of carbon dioxide and a small amount of oxygen. The inhaler contain oxygen 21%, carbon dioxide 0.03%. That's why oxygen diffuses from the higher concentration to lower concentration. Means from the alveolus to blood capillary. At the same time, what is the carbon dioxide present in the blood of blood capillaries diffuses into the alveolus. In this way, gases exchanges takes place in the human being. How the gases exchanges takes place in the human being? In the human being, alveoli are the structural units. Each alveolus is surrounded or covered by the and one blood capillary. Whenever air is entering into the alveolus, oxygen present in the alveolus is diffuses into blood of blood capillary. At the same time, what is the carbon dioxide present in the blood of blood capillaries diffuses into the alveolus. Oxygen diffuses from alveolus to blood capillary. Carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood capillary to alveolus. Yes. Next, transport of the gases. How blood oxygen or carbon dioxide is transported within our body or within the human body. Yes. So, when the gases exchange takes place in the alveolus, oxygen is combined with hemoglobin to forming as a oxyhemoglobin. Yes, oxygen combines with hemoglobin to forming as a oxyhemoglobin. Yes, oxyhemoglobin. Yes, and in this way, hemoglobin is carrying the oxygen from lungs to all the cells. From lungs to all the cells in our body. Yes. Look here, this is the blood. Inside the blood, oxygen is there in the form of oxyhemoglobin. These are the cells. Yes. When it is reaches near to the cells, then what will happen? Oxyhemoglobin is decomposes as a hemoglobin and oxygen. Yes. This oxygen is diffuses from the blood to cells. At the same time, carbon dioxide present in the cells is diffuses into the blood. Yes. Whenever blood is carrying the oxygen as a oxyhemoglobin, whenever reaches near to the cells at this level, oxyhemoglobin is decomposes to forming as a hemoglobin and oxygen. Then oxygen diffuses into the cells. At the same time, carbon dioxide diffuses from the cells to blood. Means gases exchange takes place between the blood and cells. Blood and cells. Yes. From the blood to oxygen diffuses into cells. From the cells to carbon dioxide diffuses into the blood. Again, this blood is returns to the lungs. So, whenever carbon dioxide is diffuses into the blood, then what will happen? This carbon dioxide, yes, this carbon dioxide, it is reactive with hemoglobin. It is reactive with hemoglobin. Yes, to forming as a carboxyaminohemoglobin. Yes, carbaminohemoglobin. Carbaminohemoglobin. So, hemoglobin only transporting the oxygen as a oxyhemoglobin, carbon dioxide as a carbaminohemoglobin. In this way, gases transport is occurs in the human being. So that's why in the human being, hemoglobin is efficient in the carrying of both oxygen and carbon dioxide. Oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay? Yes. Remaining topic we will discuss in the next class.